Hello, and welcome to this month's Superintendent Update, our chance to talk with Superintendent Eric Conti about what's going on in the Burlington Public School System. Eric, thanks for taking some time.
Always a pleasure, Rich.
Absolutely. For me as well. I just want to start off how's the summer going, and how is this year maybe different than other years?
It's more typical than other years. I think it differs greatly from last summer when we were scrambling
Yes.
to try to figure out what school was going to look like. Right now we're planning on an in-person return in the fall. We haven't heard otherwise. We are certainly paying attention to what's going on with the Delta variant and hoping Massachusetts vaccination rates continue to increase, and especially with students who are 12 and older. Looks like currently elementary students are going to be encouraged to wear masks indoors, but I'm sure that could change. So I just want to make sure I tell everyone that's not definite yet. We're still waiting on guidance, but it does look like we're going to be back in school full time. And so we're hoping in the next couple weeks. I know that we had discussed doing a longer conversation about that specifically, and we're just going to wait for more information to come out from the Mass Department of Public Health, and again working closely with our local Board of Health to make sure that we're in compliance with everything that we need to for the opening of school.
And now that vaccinations are available to those 12 and older, does the school department have any way of sort of assessing how many students here in the high school, for example, are vaccinated? Can you ask that, or?
We can't mandate it.
Right, I know that.
Is what we've heard, and I think students can report that they are vaccinated if they choose, but I don't think we're going to require them to tell us. And my suggestion would be to any family who is questioning or waiting for them to talk to their pediatrician and get advice from someone who's trusted to make that determination. So again, the more folks who are vaccinated, the safer the overall community is and the schools will be. But we're hoping with vaccines available for students 12 and older that our middle and high school can operate pretty much as normal.
Right.
And then we're hoping the pediatric vaccine becomes available, I think they said in the early part of 2022. And then again, families should work with their pediatricians at that point. And I'm sure we'll have guidance all along the way. So we know we need to communicate more with families, I think, in the next coming weeks, and we're planning on doing that. We're just waiting for more specific guidance from the state, and then looking to help have our local Board of Health translate that state guidance so that we can provide optimal conditions for our students and staff.
Okay. And one of the other big changes last year obviously was the transportation, the bus routes. You had much fewer students on buses. Is that the same, or are they going to be full capacity? And
buses are going to be full capacity, and they lifted the bus restrictions actually last spring.
Yeah, I remember.
We just didn't lift our restrictions because it would have meant rerouting all the buses and would have been, we felt, more disruptive than what would have been worth the effort. And families had already made arrangements to get their children to and from school. So in order for continuity, we sort of left things as they were.
Right.
But no, this fall we're planning on full buses, and again, we're planning on a full return to in-person instruction.
Okay. Now, we had talked last time about, you were received some federal grant money, and you were using it to sort of fill some positions, some temporary, some maybe more long-term. How's that going?
It's going well. So again, Burlington is a desirable place to work, so we've been able to attract, I think, some talented people. We're staffing in terms of predicting for some student needs that, again, we're planning for. If we wait to staff until we experience the student needs, it'll be too late. So we're really looking, we have about 600 students who we haven't seen since last March in person. And so we are going to be welcoming those students back. We're being told by people who work with children and have some expertise that there may be some adjustments that students have to make to in-person learning, and we want to be staffed and ready to address those needs right away. So I think that's our focus of using our ESSER 3 money, which is the third round of federal funding. is really to bring in human support for students. So many districts are using it for programming, and again, we're using some of the funds for summer acceleration, which I think we're seeing students participate in, but we're really using the bulk of the money for students' supports during the school year.
Excellent. A couple of things about, being back to normal. Does it look like, sports activities and other sort of extracurricular, after school programs will all be sort of back to normal this year? Or?
It does. So again, we're planning on a full return. We're planning on fall sports running, marching band running. And again, unless we're directed otherwise by the Mass Department of Public Health or the state comes in and makes a determination, then we're planning on having those activities run. If they require masks, we'll comply with masks. If they require certain spacing, we'll make sure that that happens. But we really want our students to have more of a typical experience, and that's what we're striving for.
Okay. And now I know that there were some capital projects that were approved by town meeting in May. Things like the turf field. I think some security measures in one of the school buildings. How's everything? What's the progress report on where those projects stand?
I'm not sure where the scheduling is, so if they're not getting done this summer, then they'll get done next summer. Sometimes we have to wait a summer to go through the procurement process.
Yeah.
So I don't have a specific update on any of that stuff, but
Okay.
I'm assuming things are in the works, and I'll make sure I have those details. I know there's a school committee meeting tonight, and that'll be a topic of conversation. So Bob Kuna will be there, and Bob will go through all the specifics.
Okay, maybe I'll have him come in
Yeah.
for a Bob Kuna update.
Yep.
And the Fox Hill project, any update on that?
No, we have the building committee that's been formed. I think we've had some interest. Some people have expressed interest to join. I think members of the select board want to participate. We'd be more than welcome. Again, they'd be more than welcome to sit on the building committee. Right now, we're just in the very early stages, and we still have to get final approval from the Mass School Building Authority Board. So we were only approved for sort of step one.
Right.
We still have to be approved for step two. And so the first couple years are relatively, there's low activity, and then it really picks up after the first couple years of their process.
And I know that on the building committee, it was important to you, I believe, and to members of the school committee to have members of the community, people from the neighborhood, parents of their, kind of what's your thinking about why that's important?
Because they're the users of the building, and the building's also part of their neighborhood. So I'm saying I think it's always important to have both people connected directly to the school and also abutters and people in the neighborhood in terms of traffic and noise and other aspects of the building. So also during the construction phase, there's lots of heavy equipment in and out, and people need to be forgiving and flexible and understand that this is an asset of the community, and that everyone, I think, benefits from having high quality school buildings as well. So that's all, and I think it's a public space, and we want to make sure we do a great job, and the more perspectives we have, the more diverse those perspectives, we think that will result in better decisions.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good idea to have. I just wanted to get your thoughts on why. Last thing, we had our new DEI director start at the beginning of the month. How does he seem to be settling in?
Ray Porch. Ray's, again, it's fitting in well. I'm learning a lot from Ray. I've enjoyed him. He has a particular role in the district, but I just have to say he's a very talented educator. So, we don't spend every single minute talking about issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Even those are foundational and impact everything. We're solving problems. So I'm relying on Ray just for his expertise in terms of being an instructional leader, an educational leader. In addition to that, he's really helping us reframe some of our patterns of behavior and causing us to think. But honestly, right now, he's just getting to know Burlington, getting to know the people of Burlington, and he's going to be spending most of his early months learning about the community and learning about the school district. And I think all of our work, including our work in classrooms, really has a foundation in relationships and positive relationships. So that's where we're starting with our diversity and equity work as well.
Excellent. All right. Well, that's all the questions that I had for you. I appreciate you taking some time coming in, despite the fact that it's in the middle of summer.
It's all right. We're here. So
Yep.
we have a lot of hiring going on. We're excited. Again, the buildings are taking shape. Our custodians and maintenance crew are working really hard.
Oh, yeah.
Again, our support staff, all the stuff that people don't see, they're really working hard to get everything done. So I know the classrooms aren't full, but there's a lot of other activity that happens, and it's actually a very busy time for us to prepare for when students and teachers arrive in August.
Yeah, definitely. If you wander the halls around here, there's a lot of activity going on.
So there is. So again, thank you for your time too.
All right. Thank you.